Hey guys, I'm Roger Wakefield, Real AP, the Expert Plumbing, coming to you right here on LinkedIn Live, on YouTube Live, actually not LinkedIn, on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. We're running crazy today. As you can see, it's a little different today. I have a guest here for my YouTube Live. What is up, Dustin Stelzer? How are you?
What's going on, man? Doing pretty good.
You know what? This is pretty neat because Dustin and I have talked for a year and a half, 2 years now almost.
At least, yeah.
Man, about doing this. Man, look here. We've already got people jumping in here.
Yeah, I've had so many people over the years just be like, you and Roger are both near each other. When are you going to do some content? And I keep saying soon, someday soon. It's today.
Today's the day. Today is the day. So this is actually pretty cool. And I don't have my automatic rotation set up, so I just keep reaching down, pushing buttons over and on. And I've got it right over here. If you'll just click on here, and you can see where to go to. If y'all see Big Virgil in here, hey, Virgil's taking care of me, which is always a good thing. So first of all, I'm not going to scroll. I'm going to look at the chat. Salty Silent, good to have you in here. Here for the mustache. See, I love. You got a little mustache too.
Oh, dude, mine's the beard. Everybody in my videos, they're like, where's the beard? It's such a big thing. Yeah. So when I shaved my face, like completely, they were all freaked out for a long time. I've never seen the baby face.
I've already been told I can't do it. There's a speaker on a YouTube conference here in town. Literally, she walks in and she does her presentation. And she said, Tim Schmiller can never take his hat on. And then she put up like 5 pictures of me and she said, Roger can never shave his mustache. It's like, it is what it is.
A lot of you got hats with your mustache. I know.
We do.
We got branding.
We got cool stuff. All this is me. This is all my idea. And I mean, the logo's on the shirt. I know you can't see it on my denim shirt.
I'm impressed. I'm like inspired by you. You're doing this big. I'm like hacking this stuff together back down in Austin.
Remember what? I wish I was in Austin. So that's a great thing there. It looks like we're there. Good deal. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Double mouse. Thank you, sir. Now I can get to it. I love it. So I'm gonna jump in the comments real quick. I love it when people just come for the mustache. It's a great thing. And I don't know if we've got a link pinned up top yet. It doesn't look like it yet. Over here on the chat, I don't see it. Let me jump in YouTube. I do. It looks like I see it there. So we do have a link right there on top. Those of y'all that want to ask a question, please go to the very top there. Click on the link. It'll take you to, the Trades Talk Academy, somewhere around there. Anyway, we're working on it. Next, in the comments, mic adjust, please. So, Virgil, back. I need somebody here to adjust the microphone or if we're hot or wet. So we're working on it. Roger, mic is bad. Which one?
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I need people.
Hello. Bleed Eagles green.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'll adjust it myself. Don't know if that helped or not. Somebody let me know. Yeah, don't know what you're saying. So we're definitely hearing audio sounds.
They're bad.
I know. And I don't know why. I think we've been shooting among us. This is very distorted. Somebody says it's fine. Somebody says it's super loud. I just bumped him down a little bit.
Don't worry, everybody. We have prepared a dance routine.
Yeah, he's going to dance.
Worst case scenario.
Go into your streaming audio.
StreamYard. Okay, perfect.
Bring your
Camera, microphone.
bring your microphones down.
Audio. I don't have an adjustment. So, got it. Echo cancellation is on. Let me turn that off. Shouldn't matter. It says automatically adjust mic volume. I turn that off. We're down at about 50%. Everybody let me know, how does this sound?
Whatever those mics are on, I want some.
Hey, dude, we're not sharing. We are not sharing. I'm just going to let you know that right now. We've been working on this all day.
You sound deep fried. I love the comments on YouTube. That's my favorite part of doing lives.
Whenever Mike's right on. You got to love that. Okay, I'm going to jump out here and let me see. Now, we normally never have a problem. Horrible, worse, bad.
Oh, so it's the same.
Well, this is just, pretty much the same kind of
YouTube. Okay.
And it's still sounding bad. And I'm trying to see what we've got. I don't know if there's any max settings over here. Let me try to turn it and back on. See if that helped anything, guys. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Just got to turn the mic volume way down. It got worse. They're speaking static. God, I love these people. Hey,
That's what happens if you have an electrician.
I know. So see what happened, man? Just jack my crap up. It's because you have an electrician in there. See, you're getting the feedback. Roger, your voice is very distorted. I don't know what he did when I walked out of here, y'all, but I'm just going to say.
It might be me. It might be me. Did I step on something?
It sounds the same, just quieter. Okay, so great way to go. What's up from Tulsa? I love that. Try speaking with the mic. Further from your mouth. Well, I'll tell you what, we can do that too, but and normally, this is normally where we run. We're having fun. We are trying to fix everything. Let me jump into settings here. Shift videos, audio, camera.
This thing fell over before. I wonder if there's anything.
Well, that's the GoPro, and that's not even really tight. See, we got so many things going on in here.
But did it like fall on?
No, it shouldn't have. There's really not anything here for it to fall on. I'm going to make sure all my plugs are in and good. And this is funny because, guys, we normally don't have these problems. All right. So if you love what you're seeing, just click the subscribe button right now and ring the bell. Move it a little further away.
So just so you guys know, this is what it's really like to be a YouTuber.
Man,
this
isn't
is
it
the
the
kind of
truth?
stuff you don't get to see, but this is what it's like. Cameras, the batteries die, SD cards go out, cameras will just shut off after 30 minutes, depending on the brand. We deal with this kind of stuff all the time, so I'm actually kind of glad y'all are seeing
Best comment of the night right here. Still no good. Well, you know what? I get it, man. No, it's a good thing. We're having fun.
I think the audio is recorded on a potato.
Well, actually, we've got it going through the water in the Yeti. So, you know, I thought he was an electrician. Let's see what we can do today. All right, so I'm going to jump back over here. Yep, we're still here, still going live.
You had a plumber, electrician comment. Being a plumber, you have an excuse for bad sound. Having an electrician right next to you, you can figure it out. Looks bad.
You know, he just said too many amps. It's like, okay, wait, how do we fix that? He said, well, drop it in the water.
That's what, all the electrocution.
I know,
Being
see?
shocked so
That's
many
what,
times.
That's what we've been talking about all day. I know. Yeah, it was recorded on a potato. Walk away from the mic. We started in the other room. It didn't work very well there either.
Let's just turn our backs and talk to the wall.
We don't need to hear you put some pipes together and talk to them. You gotta love that. See, that's what they want from plumbers. This sounds a little like a lot of adults from Charlie Brown.
Sounds good now, bingo.
It's perfect now. I love that. Fixed. Yeah. Grayson, whatever we did, it might have worked. Urban Explorer, my brother from another mother. What mixture are you going into? Man, well, here's what we did. We're still going into, we've got our road. What we just went to an ATM Mini Extreme ISO. So, man, we got possibilities for 8 cameras here. But it shouldn't have changed. Okay, so now it says turn the master up just a little bit. It says Grayson is the master. Boy, that's the truth. Mustache is a beauty. See? I
Sounds
love
like the
it.
adults from Charlie Brown.
I saw that.
All right, so you guys can hear us?
Can you say retro?
There we
All right,
go.
looks like everything
That
might be
sounds cool.
good.
All right,
we are,
bingo.
We are moving the right direction. Amber says it's getting better. Sloppy, is that a name, or are you telling us what our service is like right now? Just checking.
You should see my lives. They're nowhere near this technologically advanced. There's no little things going down on the screen. None of that.
Neil says we fixed it. Good. So we apparently had something wrong with the road. Possibly hit the wrong button, which plumbers tend to do that. Back to where I started out. As you can see, we have a guest in here today. Those of y'all that don't know, Mr. Electrician U, Dustin Stelzer. What's up, man? I know.
Learning how a big time YouTuber does it over here, watching all this craziness.
Y'all, he came down here to teach me lessons. So don't you believe anything he tells you. He literally came down to teach me what I'm doing wrong. And it started with audio.
No, man, I watch your lives all the time, and it's kind of cool. I'm having like a star moment right now. Like, I get to see all of this stuff. I get to actually be here. Y'all better be jealous.
I like this. Pirate Dad says I need to get myself a mustache like that.
Yeah.
So they sell them at the barbershop. You just sweep it up off the floor and get enough super glue. It's easy.
Yes, my moderator for YouTube
Uh-huh.
is in here, Z Met in 1994. Zach, would you please
Right.
make sure that we get a Roger mustache made for me? get Jackie on it.
It's the field surrounding a master electrician.
Yeah,
See, that's
see?
what that messed up my
That's
entire
him.
studio. Man, that's just not even right. So, and I love that. And if y'all don't know Neil the Urban Explorer, number one, buddy of mine from London, met him in LA and actually knew him before then because he's on a lot of the Nick Nimmin live stuff where I've told you about him, the guy that teaches people how to do YouTube. Been great for me. But anyway, he's one of my mods. Man, wonderful guy. I love what he's doing. First time I saw him cut a big hole in the side of a van, I was like, dude, what the what? He does van rehabs and builds these things and lives in them and travels the country.
Oh, dude, that sounds
Cool
so
stuff over in London.
Okay.
Now, if they never get rid of COVID, I really would like to come over there and visit.
I think COVID's permanent.
Man,
It's just the world's
I
over.
I called today. I want to go. Have you ever seen Drain Addict? Okay, he's a drain cleaner. He does it with a hydrojet in Australia. He's got a little rubber rat named Ratty. Anytime he finds corn in the poop, he'll bring Ratty out. So, hey, we're plumbers. You know, you got to have fun doing anything you can have fun doing. So I know it is what it is. Mighty Flux. Let me scroll down here. We got a super chat there. We'll make sure that comes up. Mighty Flux says, in local 519, got a chance to specialize in boilers, welding, or lift stations. Any thoughts on them and pros and cons? Here's what I'll tell you. Welding, man, I love the idea of welding, but it's going to be hard to start your own company one day. And what I mean by that, and we were talking about this earlier in the video, as an electrician, as a plumber, and when we decide to start a company, you ain't even got to have any money. Neither one of us did. You start your own company. As a welder, you got to look at what can you do that's going to be big enough to support yourself. So I like getting into anything that you can start your own business. What do you think? Because there's a lot of trades out there.
Well, specifically for welding, like one thing to consider is you got to have a welder. A lot of these guys have like huge flatbed trucks that have to be like a 1-ton truck to be able to handle the weight of that. So that just getting all of that set up to be able to do this on your own is very, very big. Plus, being here in Texas, it's 110 every day. Being under a welder's hood and doing all that stuff, like it would be really tough. But I will say, everybody asks me what other trade I would do if I didn't do electrical, and I think I would do welding. There's something about it that it just intrigues me.
Here's my thing, and I'm going to say why I wouldn't. And it's because I was literally talking to a great welder, a guy named Philip Richmond. He's with TD Mechanical, a big company here in Texas. And I asked him one day, I said, why don't you weld anymore? Because he had moved up to superintendent. He said, it's literally just all you think about all day is that puddle, puddle,
Walking the cup.
puddle, puddle, puddle. And I'm like, man, my mind runs way too fast for that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, wait, what? And, you know, that's what I love about plumbing. And I would probably be an electrician or a gynecologist, not sure which one. I mean, I probably know, but, you know, electrician's an opportunity. But, I mean, electricians to me are a lot like plumbers. There's always a lot to think about.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, a lot to try to figure out. And
the service calls are always a really big deal. For the most part,
Yeah,
it's
you-
like
you bet.
I can't function without whatever this problem is big, and I need you to come out and solve it right now. But like welding, I would probably do the fabrication side. So always like the metallurgy, the cutting, and like just grinding and everything. That is what intrigues me. Not just setting up like metal poles for a commercial building all day long.
Absolutely.
I think that's what I like about it.
And I like this. A plunger is how you unclog Chipotle.
No, you missed a comment. There was another comment up there. It's like, I need to know right now how to unclog a Chipotle toilet. That's
pretty
why I
good.
laughed.
That is pretty good.
I caught you, bro. I got it.
That's pretty good. Oh, Liverpool. Okay, there you go. See, yeah, in Liverpool, London. Yeah, there.
Love the electrician and plumber energy. You want to get into it?
Yeah, I know. No, we will. I mean, we're plumbers.
He's afraid. He's afraid all your plumbers are going to leave and be electricians.
Plumbers is the best trade there is. I mean, really, we've already figured that out. Didn't take us long today. About 5 minutes. It's like, yeah. All right, let me see. See if there's any comments in here. Jump. We got the super chat right there. Yeah, the lift station. I like the idea of being a welder. I talk to people all the time about getting into the trades, and the one thing I keep going back to is know your end game. Meaning, when I got into trades, I just knew I was getting in to be a plumber. Did you know what kind of electrician you were going to be? Meaning, residential, commercial, service, new construction, or is it just, hey, I'm going to be an electrician?
No, when I first started, I didn't know there was any other kind of electrician. Sorry.
Yeah, I just don't want to get you far enough away.
I'm an amateur, man.
Are we getting good spikes on him? Yeah, he blew it up again. That's fuzzy. Go ahead. I'm joking.
What was I saying?
Why you became an electrician?
Yeah, so when I started, I didn't know there was any other kind of electrician other than just wiring houses. Like what I was doing was wiring custom homes. So I got to see these really huge mansions out on the lake and stuff down in Austin. So that was really cool. But once I got to a commercial job, I was like, oh, what is this MC? There's like a weird wire that we use for
It's called a
everything.
motorcycle club. Well, I mean, I'm a plumber. That's what it is to me. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay,
That's why you don't be a plumber, because your jokes like fall.
Whoa, plumbers thought those were great, especially the ones that ride motorcycles. Service Titan in the house. I love that, man. I love you guys too. Look, right above it, Katie. I love this comment. I want to be an underwater welder.
Yes.
Okay, Katie, you got it going on, because I wanted to do that. There's actually a place down in Houston that trains underwater welding. Man, that would be like the ultimate gig for me, because I love to scuba dive. I love the trades, love building stuff. So underwater welding was just like, that would be the coolest job on there.
Yeah, plus it's like really dangerous. So the
Okay.
pay for it is great. But like, no, seriously, that's what I love about electricity too, is like if you're working on something live and you're like in a big switch gear and it's 480 volt, like you can't mess up. It's just that element of danger is another reason why I always love this.
Okay, so I want to roll right down after that. You got Service Titan in the house. Do you use Service Titan? You familiar with Service Titan and everything they do?
I'm familiar, I've just not used it.
Man, their product is amazing. I've looked at it so many different times. I like that. Okay, now, Timothy DeMarco, are you a new subscriber to my channel or to Dustin's channel? Because if y'all are not over on Electrician you need to go check it out. Subscribe to it. Ring the bell. That way you see when he makes videos. And I have a lot of people that watch both, because people come in all the time and say, Roger, you and Dustin really need to do something. They tell me, Roger, if you take the word plumber out of what you say and put in electrician, you teach us to be better. And his guys say, hey, if you take out the word electrician and put in the word plumber, we could be much better people.
It's not true.
No, it is
They
exactly.
say if you take it out, they're quitting my channel. That's what they
Hey, you know,
say.
hey, it's something like that, guys. Anyway, I'm pretty daggum close.
Oh, we got a dono over here that we
Got
missed.
another
$5
one?
dono.
Okay, so I'm going to jump
Mighty
right
Flux.
down right here. But yeah, in Mighty Flux, yeah, I saw that. They are specializations. And I have actually done lift stations. I've tried welding. I just didn't really like it. So there's so many different opportunities. And we talked about this earlier too. As a plumber, you can get in, you can be a plumber, a pipe fitter, a welder. And those are in unions that really cross-train, combi unions. But as an electrician, you can do switches, controls. How many different, I think I saw 10 different jobs that electricians can get into. They're everything from wiring to generators to a million different things.
Oh, yeah.
What are the different opportunities for somebody becoming an electrician?
Man, it's kind of endless. Honestly, the rate at which electrical technology is developed and is enhanced and is now like networked, and like there's just so many things that we're doing in the electrical space that there's more and more fields opening up. So like now you can just be a generator person. That's all you do. Now you can do things with transformers, and that's all you do. Really good people, I think, get a lot of experience and go do many different things. But you're right. Like there's controls, like controlling motors and automated machine processes, and there's lighting control systems. So like in a Walmart, like it is, Walmarts are usually able to sense all the light levels outside, and you don't realize it's shopping in Walmart, but the lights are always changing how bright they are and how dark they are. But there's a Novar system that controls all of that, and it controls the temperature gauges and everything for all the meat and the produce. And so if anything goes out, like you have an emergency call to go take care of that stuff. But there's just so many kind of epic, and even just stuff like doing AV work and doing speakers.
You bet.
You know, there's so much to being an electrician.
And I love that. And one of the first big green Walmarts was right here in Up in Allen. And I'm a lead AP, so I studied building green buildings and doing things like that. And I was so blown away by the way that, I mean, you go in and they've got like openings cut in the ceiling to where light comes in all the time. That way, if it's really bright outside, the lights don't have to do as much. But if it's really cloudy or getting dark, now the lights come on. So, man, stuff like that, I think that is so cool. I love it. So, now what is this? Is this a comment or not? It says, hey, Roger, how old are you? You know it's not good when it starts off like that. Somehow you look like a grandpa and a young dad all at the same time. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I'm both.
Yeah, you're a dad.
I'm a
right?
grandpa and
Yeah.
I'm a dad, so, you know,
That's what
it
happens.
is what it is. Okay, here we go. What is your best advice to protect yourself from arc flash? Now you put flask. You're drinking.
Arc
I understand.
Flask.
No, you're drinking. I understand. So I'm going to fill that in for you, Jordan. Arc Flash, and I'm going to tell you the answer is easy. Be a freaking plumber. Oh my gosh!
That's what I was
Come on,
gonna say.
really?
Like for real, that's the best.
It's the easiest way. Yeah, that's your best advice right there. Next question. No. Okay, so what's the best way? I know there's safety equipment. And
Yeah,
now,
really
do you
PPE.
do ultra high voltage?
No.
Okay.
So most that I do, like for voltage, I haven't really been into these like industrial environments where we've done like 2,000, 3,000 volts or anything like that. I've worked on stuff that's like neon transformers. If you have neon signage on a building, usually that's like 9,000 volts or 12,000, 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really the environment that if you've got a lot of voltage and a lot of amperage going at one time, the ability for that to turn into a fireball and fill an entire room and engulf that in flames is pretty high. So a lot of industrial machinery and big things like that, usually with a little panel in a house or something like that. You're not talking about a massive arc flash. But
I want to ask you something real quick because I see this and you and I talked about this. Commercial or residential, better plumbing room? What about electrical room?
better, it's hard to say better.
So now, and the reason I wanted to pull this up, if you're doing residential, you're not going to have to worry much about arc flash, right? At least not
Right.
high voltage.
Right. Well, it depends on the situation. You could still have a 1,200 amp panel, that you're working on with a huge
I was
house.
going to say, wow, that's big. I've never even heard of
No,
one
it's
that big.
massive. And if you're sitting there working close to a bus and you drop a screwdriver or something and short it out, you could still have a massive flash in your face.
And make sure you have tools that are made for situations like that
Yeah.
and insulated. And
But yeah, as far as like commercial or residential being better, it's kind of like, well, what's better, a truck or a car?
so
It's like,
truck.
well,
I mean, I know the answer to that.
Yeah, I know. But it depends if it's a
Plumber,
Tesla.
electrician. I know the answer to
If
that.
it's a Tesla or if it's like, I saw a McLaren
There you
driving up
go.
here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
take a McLaren over a truck. I would quit being an electrician if I could own a McLaren.
Oh, well, we can get you out the trade real quick. That was easy. Now, here's a cool one is, and I want you to think about this, the guy says, I'm already subscribed to Dustin.
Thank you, Timothy.
Well,
appreciate that.
Yeah, but earlier he said he just unsubscribed to you because you said electricians were better. So I guess he felt sorry for you and he went back. No?
Thought we were homies.
I know. See what you thought? Okay, so here we go. Amber Mendoza says, hey, when you Trades Heroes are finished, please don't turn anything off in the studio. We have a project going on. So I'm working on multiple videos here. And so when I brought Dustin in, I told him, we're working on a deal for Cottonelle flushable wipes. So we did a shake test earlier, and I mean, this thing's dissolved. And now we're doing a 24-hour test. We've got a GoPro setting up here. We're constantly shooting video, like around the clock, all the time. So,
Yeah, from the time you wake up.
man, isn't it crazy? All right, I
love it, though.
I'm gonna look over here just because I want to see. I got a couple of questions in here, guys. There is a link up top. If you've got some questions, if you will jump on that link, it will take you over. Man, they came in quick too.
Did we get to the $10 dono?
I thought we did. Maybe
I thought the last one we did was a $5.
not. Was it? Oh, there it is, right here. Watch this. Says Ron Brown, number one. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the
I
dono.
appreciate you being in here. Says I'm having a hard time getting into the trades. I'm considering a lineman. Oh, that's not a good consideration. Plumbing. There you go. And an inside lineman. Okay,
Oh,
so what's the
two.
difference between an
Two.
inside and an outside lineman? I mean,
One's probably not outside.
see why I'm a plumber? Just saying. See why I'm a plumber?
If you have brains, maybe be a lineman.
Okay,
If that was
if-
difficult for you to
If
understand,
you have
maybe be a
brains, do you
plumber.
want to be inside or outside? I mean, just let me ask these questions because I'm not 100% sure. I'll tell you what. It says find the electrical very competitive. Nobody wants to take entry level workers.
Yeah, so he's saying like lineman is different. Linemen, they're working usually on power
The
poles,
lines.
utility transformers. Stuff
You
like
bet.
that.
You bet. Now, what about an inside lineman?
I don't know.
Okay, because
I don't know
I'm
the
thinking,
world of
okay,
being a
yeah,
lineman.
well, me either. I like the idea though of having big poles running inside. Joking. No, and look, I love the plumbing part of it, but that's just me. I used to love climbing poles though. Not that I would ever do this or anything, but I knew people that had cable hooked up. When you could just climb up there and hook a wire up. And man, I had gaffs and climb a pole. I was good at it right up until I stuck that gaff into my left heel one time coming down. And I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to hit the bottom quick. Yeah. I never wanted to be a lineman again.
I've always wanted to be one of those linemen that they get on a helicopter and they get brought up to like the 500,000-volt lines way out in the middle of nowhere, and the only way they can work is
Yes,
getting
where
hooking
there's
that
nothing you
helicopter
can
up.
be tied. Yes.
Yeah, and that helicopter's sitting there, and it's the rotor's like right next to the lines, but he has to be so good. I always wanted to do that.
Okay, so here's a good one. It says, okay, real question. Real question now, LOL. Okay, you know when it starts out like that, it may not be a real question. But have you ever thought of being a mechanic? Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before being a plumber, I would be a mechanic. For sure.
I think we're going to end today. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. I got to carry the trash out.
Oh, yeah. Motors, engines, that has always fascinated me. Fixing it, but it just seems like such a pain in the butt job to do.
I was never good at it. I mean, I love working on cars and like stereo, stuff like that. So that's where my electrical extent kind of stops. There are pigtails on garbage disposals and electrical water heaters. Other than that, I'm done. And I'm not even sure I really want to do all that. But working on cars, I've always loved working on cars. Pretty good at it.
Older cars, nowadays.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to be an electrician.
really, yeah.
You got to know how to use a computer and stuff. Okay, I like this. Oh, where'd it go? He says, I'm still subscribed.
Thanks, Timothy.
You made his day, brother.
My boy,
Made
Luke.
his day. I love that. That's the way to go. That's pretty good. David Woodard says, wanted to be an electrician, but Dad said I wasn't the brightest bulb in the box. Well, either's Dustin. Worked for him.
All this hate.
Welcome to
All
Dallas,
this
brother.
hate.
Welcome to Dallas.
Yeah, that
I'm glad
is.
you came to
That
North
is why.
Texas. Can you
We're
feel the
nice
love?
people in
I'm
Austin.
not.
Dallas,
Wait,
you
what?
guys are all
I've been
just
to
mean.
Austin. They're nice to everybody. They're
Oh, I
not
thought I
care
could
who
lie
it
to
is.
you.
Yeah, you can't BS me. Let me see. You know what I meant. Yes, I did. You're good. Just as I was an apprentice electrician for a short time. Recently enjoyed my experience and work while being an electrician. However, could never match the sexual tension between the other guys on the crew. I see. Be a plumber. We lay pipe and fix things. It's a great day. Somebody wants to be a football player?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, here we go. Hey, tuber turds, don't get flushed. I love it. I wanted to crush the like button and say you guys know your stuff. Yes, we do.
That's not what he said.
I think it
It's
is.
not
No,
stuff.
I think it was.
It wasn't
I think
stuff,
was.
Roger.
No, trust me, it's stuff. I deal with it all the time.
Y'all, if you don't watch my channel, I cuss a lot.
He cusses
all right?
a lot, and I do too. I just don't do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because of sponsors, because of different things that I'm doing, and I've got a lot of females that want to get into the trades.
That's
a
the
lot of young
difference.
people that want to get in the trades.
Plumbers are nice people.
I know. And then there's
Electricians are
y'all.
jerks.
And then there's y'all.
Like, really, we just love to make each other mad. We're terrible to each other. That's why. So, come to my channel if you want the unedited version.
Okay, so yeah, I know, and trust me, there's a lot of times the unedited version really wants to come out. Parker
I
says,
think I heard some of that earlier.
You probably did. Parker says, have you ever had a time where you discovered something worse on the job? So you were fixing a leaky pipe and it turns out it was clogged or had a bunch of mold. Yes, I mean, as a plumber, we may go in to fix a clog and it may turn out to be a slab leak, something that needs to be replaced. Anything at all like that. So yeah, we can. Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier too. When tradespeople go to houses to help customers, number one, they're already in distress mode. They don't know what the problem is, don't know how much it's going to cost, and it can be really bad. So, yeah, sometimes it does get worse. You want to go grab water? You want me to see I don't know. If there's anybody in the marketing room, can y'all come in here and refill a water for us? If not, one of us will step
I mean, I
out
could sip
here
out of
in
your
just a
cup. I
moment.
was wearing your shirt
I
literally
know,
like
I know.
40 minutes ago.
See, why do you got to tell people that? See, I thought we weren't going to bring that up here in public. Just wait till y'all see the videos. And I've got videos of him he don't even know about, so it can be good.
Do we have anybody from the U Crew in the crowd?
Yeah,
Please comment if you are a U Crew member.
I like this.
I call the U Crew.
No,
all my
I like,
people.
and my guys are tuber turds.
Tuber turds?
Tuber turds.
All right,
I
cool.
mean, yeah, hey,
Yeah,
I
like it.
kind of dig it. HVAC's in the middle as far as niceness goes.
Yeah,
You're cool,
it depends
you're hot,
on the
you're
day.
cool, you're hot.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to do that in Texas.
I know, oh God.
Being up in the
Being
attics
when it's
every day.
150 degrees,
Oh,
or when
man.
it's 20
All
below.
that nasty asbestos insulation.
Insulation, yes. Right, negativi, right? Negative, okay. I'm trying to make it sound right. Roger Wakefield, the prank phone calls video was
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was.
I had so much fun.
I was
doing
in the
that.
gym when you sent that to me, and I started laughing out loud. That was so good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Is
it
that the
was-
first prank you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, you got to do way more.
Yeah,
of those.
we are. We had already come up with a list of. We got some good ideas. I like that. Will you tell anybody if there's any blood in there?
I know. And you're like, specifically, is there any bone and like skin?
Well, like, yeah, you know, hypothetically, what if there's like blood and chopped up bone and skin and stuff like that in there? Will y'all tell anybody? And one guy's like, "Wait, did you say blood?"
One lady was so mad. She's like, I'm ending this
Yeah,
call right
I'm
now.
in
Like,
this
I'm not.
call.
I don't like where this is
No,
going.
I love it. It's like, okay, do you have anybody you can refer me to? Like, no,
She was.
no.
It was so
It's
good.
like, come on, lady. I thought you said you. Since there's no job too big or too small. She's like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
So do you know a Taylor Mayfield? Somebody wants to give him a shout out. Is that a friend of yours?
Taylor Mayfield. Can you give a special shout out for my friend Taylor Mayfield? No.
No, we don't do that. Sorry. Next channel. No, we're playing, having fun.
Hi, Roger
Uh,
Mayfield. No, wait, Taylor Mayfield.
I know. Okay, so I mean, when you have two masters of their craft in the same room, there will be tension. You know,
Yeah. I think if one of them's like feels insecure about themselves, maybe, or if both of them do. But I mean, I
probably not
obviously
a problem
don't.
here.
He might be sweating a little bit. It's
Yeah,
all right.
not a problem here. No, I'll tell you what, we've had fun. We've actually shot some videos here today.
We're not supposed to tell anybody.
Oh, well, yeah, he didn't know I shot him.
Okay.
I should see the stuff he did.
I was alone in this room for too
I
long.
know.
No, we
I
do
know.
have some videos coming out.
We do. Okay, let's jump back over into the forum. Got a couple of questions. I've got a few questions over here. All right, and I like this. So if y'all have not gone over into the forum, there's a link up top. Hey, Roger, 19 years old, started as an unindentured just a few days ago. Your apprenticeship interview is today. Any advice for someone like me? Yeah, it is today, or it was today, which is 4:30 Dallas time, so you could be on the West Coast. Here's what I tell you, and if you go in for a job interview, and I mean, I want you to think about this as a former company owner. We know what we're looking for. We want somebody to represent us well, somebody to work hard, and somebody just come in with a positive attitude.
Yeah.
And those are three of the biggest things right there. And if you understand those, when people ask you a question about, you know, what it is you're looking for, as long as you come in with the attitude of, look, I want to learn and grow, but I understand that to do that, I've got to help you grow. I've got to help your company. I've got to show up. I've got to be there on time. I've got to do what's asked of me. And if you can understand that walking in, interviews aren't just, they're not just there to give you a job. They have a need to fill. And if you can position yourself to fill that need, I think it's a great thing. What do you think about something like that? Any ideas for somebody for an interview?
Yeah, I actually get asked this question a lot in lives as well, and I think the one thing I consistently say over and over is that as a master electrician, I'm looking for somebody that's going to work really hard and that it's easy to teach. So if you're dependable, if I can count on you, I look at what I'm paying you as worthwhile, and I will want to pay you more to keep you around. So the dependability, that means like being there on time, being a little early, maybe shooting the stuff. It's so hard for me to not cuss. So like shooting the
You're
breeze.
doing good, man. You're doing good.
Shooting
Absolutely.
the breeze with, you know, like some of the older people in the shop, and like just really showing up. When I interviewed, one of the best interviews I ever had for an electrical shop was where I told them at the very end that I'm here to be a student. I'm not here to profess that I know anything. I know that I know very little, and I have a lot of room to grow, but I think you guys are a phenomenal company. And the amount of experience you have in what I want to learn is top notch, and I just want to study under you. Sold it, hired, they remembered me like nobody else that walked in after that. They didn't care about. They were just like, whoa, like that kind of mentality is what we're looking for. We want somebody that thinks like that.
And I love that. And your guy, you said that Jay Smith in 1994 is yours. He's talking about Brokeback Electrician. Something about sideways glances, changing shirts, Brokeback Electrician.
I don't know. Electrician chats get pretty raw. My mom ended up in my live on Friday, and I was like, "Mom, get out of the live!
Yes,
It's way
please, Mom.
too dirty in the
Please,
place."
Mom, get out of here. Yeah, but they did call Dustin about making a follow-up movie to that Cornhole Creek. Did you say they called you?
Hey,
You know,
I'm gonna
see,
start
it
dropping
can go to,
F-bombs on this
we
chat,
can't,
all
we
right?
can't do that. Question for Dustin. There we go. What outlets do I need for my detached garage?
Just regular old outlets. Timothy, what are you asking specifically? Are you asking like, do they need to be GFCI protected? Or are you asking if they need to be like tamper resistant? And in both cases, you know, 15 amp, 20 amp, like I don't really know what's going on in your garage for the answer to that.
and it's detached. Are they outside outlets or inside outlets?
Right.
You know. Got another one over here. Let's go back over into the forum, guys. Diego Garcia says, "What should I expect going into a plumbing apprenticeship? That you're going to be smarter than the electricians in the electrician apprenticeship." I mean, you know, really,
You got electrician envy. I think that's what it is. I think you really wish you were an electrician, and you just never got the chance.
That's it. I just don't tell anybody that. You know, the neat thing is getting into the plumbing apprenticeship, and really in the beginning, whether you're getting into plumbing, electrical, HVAC, it doesn't matter. You've got to understand, if you're getting into an apprenticeship, you're probably going to be on a commercial job. You've got to understand that you're there working around hundreds of other people. You show up to the job, you think about PPE, you work safely. You're not just looking out for you. If you mess up, somebody else next to you can get hurt. And you've really got to think about that. The last thing you want to do is show up and put somebody else's health at risk. So learn, hey, look, you're, and I don't know how old you are, so I don't mean this bad, but you're growing up now. You're not just out of high school and, hey, it's all fun and games on the playground. It is, man, look, this is a man's world. And I say man, I mean woman too.
Woo!
Yeah, no, let me. You're a
I feel like I just got canceled on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, both of us. Yeah, the channel just went black. What happened? Phew, it just went down. So, but the thing is, you are in a grown-up world now, and people expect you to show up and learn. I like what you said a while ago. As much as I'm paying them, we start out plumbers at $15 an hour. That's $600 a week. Lay $600 down and look at it and say, okay, what are you doing this for this? Yeah. And I think it's a neat way to look at it. What about somebody if they were just now going into an electrician apprenticeship position through the union or something like that? What would you tell them?
Soak everything up, ask a lot of questions over and over until you fully understand something. There's a lot of intimidation that happens because there's different personality types that you'll notice through your apprenticeship, but being afraid to ask a question is like the worst thing. So if you're not getting information from somebody because they're just tired and they don't want to train and they don't care about you, find somebody else to ask, but constantly ask questions, constantly being putting yourself in better positions to learn. The worst thing to have in a personality type in a person that goes into an apprenticeship is the person that's like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and when you're trying to explain something to them, they want to impress you by knowing already, and then they walk away, and they didn't even hear what you said, and they mess up the thing that they said they knew because they have an ego. They can't drop their ego and just listen. And the other thing, I know it takes restraint, but when somebody's telling you something, if you were to tell me about plumbing, and I already know about plumbing, me having the respect for you to just shut my mouth and just be like, I'm going to listen.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to listen anyways. You don't need to know that I already know the thing. I'm just going to listen.
Absolutely.
That is a skill that I think everybody needs to have going in apprenticeship.
I like this comment by Blood Clown. Plumber and electrician. What could go wrong?
Everything. Everything.
You know, man,
What's the worst
where do we
thing?
start?
What's the worst thing? Like on a job site, have you ever gotten really mad at an electrician
Oh yeah.
for something?
Oh,
Why?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Drilling holes in my pipe
No.
on purpose.
No,
On
never.
purpose. I'm just telling
Yeah,
you.
I think that's
I'm
happened
just
a time or
telling
two.
you. Yeah. Okay, we got another question here in the comments. The floater in my toilet doesn't come up on its own. Okay, when he said the floater in my toilet, I wasn't thinking about the flapper.
I was just gonna say, like,
I-
I'm
it
not
was
coming
like-
up here.
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Like,
it's-
what?
it's like,
This is
you
all we
know,
talk
okay.
about is poop.
I know. The floater in my toilet doesn't come up on its own to refill water. It's only a year old. What should I do? I would replace it. If it's the flapper or the fill valve or flush valve, look, those parts in there, they're easy to do. I've got a video that shows people,
That
look,
stuff
this is
I've
how you
even
do it. I
done.
know.
Yeah.
It's like how do I change a breaker? It's like, watch my video. You know, it's not hard. How do you change the outlet? Okay, turn off the breaker, watch my video. It's there. No, those are good things. That's something every homeowner can do. All right. You see any good comments here? Question for the both of you. I'm just going to jump over because I saw it. So question for the both of you. New York parents' water heater got real hot near the electric box and the plastic melted. We got the power off in time for like not death, but the heater is shot. What next? Replace it.
I would say get a new water heater, maybe.
Yeah, if it's shot, there is no other choice. You don't rebuild them. It's like you get those calls, hey, my water heater's leaking. Can you fix it? No.
I think he might, like, I know we're being jerks about it.
No,
but
no, we're
think,
playing.
I think you might be saying, like, is there a problem? Will you unhide that so I can read?
Yeah,
There we
it's
go.
over here in bigger white
Oh,
letters.
big, huge letters on
Look
screen
over here
in
where it's
front of
bigger. Yeah, yeah. Here. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to help a brother. See, intelligence.
See, I'm
knowledge.
not a plumber.
I know.
I can only do so much.
I know.
Tis merely a man.
So there you go.
Okay.
Question for the both of you. In New York,
The water heater got hot near
real
the
hot
electric
near the
box.
electric box. Did it get hot because the electric box burned up, or just?
I think it'd be a lot different situation if that were the case. It seems like inside, I mean, there's elements inside the water heater. That's
absolutely.
going to get crazy hot and
Absolutely.
probably melt plastic before an electrical panel would.
Okay, Salvatore Sanfilippo. I want to
Say that again?
Salvatore Sanfilippo.
Oh, that is right. All right, all right.
Oh, see,
Hey, man.
man.
Can't
So
give you any
here's the
slack.
deal. I love this because it says New York City Local 1 plumber. Tell me if John Cullen is still an instructor there. I met him. I used to be an instructor in Local 50 or Local 100 here in Dallas. He was an instructor in Local 1. They send us, or used to send us up to Ann Arbor every year to go through an instructor training program. So you learn things to come back and teach your students, which is phenomenal. Man, New York Local 1, their instructors came in all dressed alike, sharp. I mean, these guys were there for the thing. And I mean, man, it was a neat deal. I had John Cullen in one of my classes, thoroughly enjoyed talking to him, his knowledge, how he saw being an instructor, why he became a plumber, because that was one of the things that we've talked about. And you and I've talked about that, about what got you into it, how you became it. He used to get up every morning and go next door to his friend's house. And when Dad would come down the stairs to get ready to go to work, Dad would come down in a suit with a top hat and a briefcase and go walking out the door. And John would watch him every morning and he'd be like, man, what does your dad do? He said, he's a plumber.
Whoa.
And the guy would go in, put coveralls on, work, and do that. But man, just that mindset. You know, we've talked about seeing each other on job sites, and there's people that you respect, and you're like, man, I really do like what this guy does. Can you imagine that as a kid, watching the next door neighbor's kid's dad and be like, man, whatever he does, that's what I want to do. That was pretty cool. So anyway, thoroughly enjoyed that. So Salvatore,
Especially if the answer to that is a plumber.
a plumber. I know. Yeah, you probably don't like it near as much, but you know. Okay. Idiot Burns. Are those electrician marks or something? I mean, I don't know. It just popped in
I
my
think
head.
it's your jokes, your
Snake to
attempts to
snake
hurt my
50 feet
feelings.
into the sewer, and it's still moving slow. Has to be a septic tank. Could be. What do you think? I'd check and see if the septic tank is full.
We have ZMet in 1994. Roger, what is the highest PSI system you've laid hands on, and what was it?
HVAC system, because the refrigerants, the pressures are so high. I'm a certified HVAC tech too. In plumbing, we've tested systems up to 300 psi, and I mean it can be dangerous, but it's pretty cool. This was welded stainless, so I really wasn't worried about it.
Okay.
But you know, just for plumbing itself, normally, man, it's not over 100 psi, nothing bad. All right. See if you see any good comments there. I'm gonna jump over here and see if
We got David Woodward. As an electrician, are you pushed to work fast? Right in the middle.
I said good comments. He said
Oh.
I was an electrician, so it started off there. So I'm sorry, look, we've been joking around all day. I love my electrician friends. I really do. So David Woodward, there you go.
As an electrician, are you pushed to work fast, or can you work at a slow, steady pace? So there's two different methodologies, schools of thought. One of them's wrong. It's not the one that I do. No, so there are people that will tell you all day long, work very slow, work very methodical, take your time, do everything, you know, snail slow, but like perfect, everything straight. And that has extreme value for things that are visible, like pipe work and things like in an art museum. Absolutely, that's going to be the way all day long. And then there's times where you're working in construction where you have a job that does not have the budget for you to be that slow. You need to whip it on. And you might have deadlines, there might be an inspection coming or something. There's going to be times where you need to be able to switch gears. So I think the best people are people that can acknowledge when it's good to slow down, take your time, and think about everything in a very methodical, aesthetic way. The people that are able to shift gears and move really fast. And I think really the best electricians, probably best tradesmen just in general, are the ones that constantly work in the middle. And they're very, very efficient and fast. They do fast, clean work. It's not so fast and it's not so clean. It's just kind of right in the middle. It's really well balanced.
And I love that. And one thing that I'll tell you, and it's something every one of us need to think about. when these jobs are bid, they're bid against a labor factor, meaning for every light fixture, for every outlet, for every switch, there's a labor factor that says, look, it should take a half an hour to install this switch. If it takes you 2 hours, there's a problem there. And it's not, I mean, look, I can do it slow and methodical and make it look like, man, he's just doing perfect. But if it takes 2 hours and we lose money, you know, that company's not going to be around very long, especially if every electrician or plumber's doing it that way. And whenever I was a superintendent, I loved whenever I'd put a group of plumbers in an area, I'd give them my labor, meaning, look, you've got 47 and a half hours to do this. If there's 2 of you, well, that's going to cut down. That's going to be 23 and 3/4 hours each. So you look at it, how can we get this down and let them understand? If I just walk in and say, hey, Dustin, look, man, we need to hurry. And I walk off, well, hurrying to him may be, okay, by the end of the week, I'll have it done. If I walk in and say, Dustin, look, we've got to have this done by Wednesday. Well, now he looks at it and says, okay, what do I need to do to have this done by Wednesday? Or if you walk in with labor factors and say, hey, this job here takes 16 hours, you're by yourself, or we can get you an apprentice, you can knock it out in 2 days, or knock it out today, that's 8 hours. And a lot of times it's just expectations and conveying, you know, what it is. And you bid work, you've had your own company, so you know how it is too. But I think you got to know things like that.
Yeah, and I think one of the benefits that I had is there was a company that I worked for in the past, and they made sure that all of us field techs were the ones that were writing up the scope of work and writing up the jobs and actually putting together the quotes ourselves. We didn't approve them, but when we, at the end of a job, when we went to look at it, we would have to write, and we'd sit there and think about ourselves working and being like, okay, in this environment, this is really fine work and we need to work slow, so it's going to take me this long. We had to come up with those estimates.
Yep.
And so you kind of get to know what that speed should be, having experience putting quotes together.
Got a super chat here from Daltonator87. Thank you so much. Says, thoughts on hydronic heating versus warm floors versus electric floor heating. Now, I know plumbers up in Seattle that literally make a living installing the radiant systems. Have you installed many heated floors in Austin?
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
They do. Just because if the tile guys do anything to damage them and there's a short,
No circuit.
you're done. You got to rip the whole thing back up. So no matter how well you of a job or good of a job that you do in laying everything out, ultimately at the end of it, you're not the one in charge of that whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. The hydronic heating would be the best way to go because you've got that hot water loop there. I think that they ought to tie that into like the line going to the shower. You know, I look at it a different way.
Yeah, why not? You feel like that would be the
You
most
get that hot
efficient.
water already, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with the residential fire protection system. So that there are different ways to do it that could be good.
With a hydronic system, how long do you, or how hot does the water get, I guess, for it to take a long time to?
You know, and man, I really don't know. I don't deal with them.
Okay.
I don't do a lot with them, so I'm not sure.
Well, the heat for the heated floors, the electrical's fairly quick. I mean, you're still looking at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on the situation.
I think the hydronic heating too, if you've got like a combi boiler that does both hot water, hot potable water, and hydronic heating water, you could probably set a timer and say, look, I mean, I'm normally in the shower about the same time every day.
Yeah.
I walk into my bathroom after I work out, so I walk in at about, you know, between 5 and 5:30. I could have the loop start at 4:45, 4:50, and I know when I walk in there it's going to be hot. So, you know, different ways that you can look at it. I want to jump over into submission real quick. What's your preferred method of adding onto or repairing CPVC? And we always try to do repairs with the same type material that it is in the beginning. If it can be done, if it can't, we'll convert over to whatever we have to. Over here in the chat, a lot of feedback.
We got a blood, skin, and bones comment.
You know what?
You did good with that
blood,
video.
skin, and bones is what it's all about.
What are the views on that video? Do you know
I
yet?
got, yeah.
Did you hit, like-
yeah. You know, it didn't go crazy, but I'll pull it up right here. It's pretty bad when you're on YouTube and you're looking up all your YouTube numbers.
Yeah, by the way, if you're an apprentice, don't be this guy.
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
that's
don't,
like, we're doing a
don't,
job
don't,
here, and this
don't
guy's
pull,
on
don't
his
pull
phone.
out your phone with it. Yeah, it's only got 8,100 views and
Oh, the dude
2
that should
days.
have way more than that.
Yeah,
You need to pump
it-
that.
it-
If
it,
any of you haven't watched yet, you need to go watch that prank call video that Roger did. It was so funny. It's so funny. And you need to share it on every one of your platforms because you guys watch all of these videos. He's doing great work out here. Share that stuff.
Thank you. It's fun. Okay, so here, I'm gonna jump back over here to this one in a second, but right here. Not a question, working HVAC. So he's He wants to be a plumber or an electrician.
All right.
A unit on top of our local mail blew up and fell on the roof in the mall,
What?
making a sizable crack in it. A whole 10 by 15 area in the roof collapsed during a rainstorm. The unit we installed fell through with it. Just had to install yet another one. Now the roof is repaired. The adventures of our trades. And you know, that's the thing in the trades. Like, we run into all kinds of different stuff. It can be pretty wild.
Yeah, and if you're in the service side, you're always walking into problems. You know, if you're in the new construction, you're always walking into new environments. There's still problems, but generally you're building and crafting something. But the troubleshooting and maintenance side, especially for electrical, it's never pretty. It's always, you know, like climbing into a restaurant, they're gross floors, and it's just always some kind of problem. So if you like that, though, services.
I remember being in Austin. There used to be a restaurant. Do they still have the Ponchos restaurants down in Austin? Okay, so Ponchos used to be an all-you-can-eat buffet, Mexican food. It was like $2.99, all you can eat. And I mean, they had the little flag that when you wanted more food, you just raised it.
That's awesome.
And I remember being in there working in the kitchen one day, and I walked by and they're cooking something, and he throws this big box up on the table, and it says lard, pure lard. And I'm like, wow, what's that for? He says, refried beans. So what do you mean? He says, well, it's half beans, half lard. I'm like, yeah, I don't eat refried beans anymore. That's enough for me. Pretty bad. You know, what you can learn in restaurants. Jake says, my dad used pipe cleaner, clear and glue purple. Pipe cleaner, clear and glue purple. My question is, can I use that and PVC for straight piping my pickup? Man, you can try anything with PVC. Just don't think you want to pop a truck with it.
Let's talk about that for a second. So
Okay.
in electrical conduit, we don't have to prime. We don't have to do anything. There's no code that says we're supposed to do anything a certain way with PVC. But there are people that only use PVC glue because we're not pressurizing our conduits.
Right.
They're called conduits. They're not called pipes, plumbing pipes, electrical conduits because we're pulling wire. Anyways, so there's some people like me that like to actually prime the pipe when we put it together. What does priming and plumbing actually do for the adherence of that?
It takes off the outer coating, the clear coating, it smooths it up so the glue actually adheres.
Okay.
Y'all normally put conduit or put piping conduit underground, right? You don't want water in it, right?
Ideally, no.
But it won't hurt it.
But it's considered a wet environment anyway,
Okay.
so any conductors we put in are supposed to be rated for wet environment. But yeah, you don't want them. But either way, like if you're putting plumbing in a slab and then you go to cover it all up, it's gonna rain. I mean, you're just gonna get conduit in it anyway. Or you're gonna get water in it
You bet.
anyways.
And if it's going to get water in it anyway, it really doesn't matter.
But the reason y'all do it is because you're pressurizing.
You bet. We
That's
want
why.
it has to be watertight because we're gonna do a pressure test on it. If it's CPVC, if it's not CPVC, what we're gonna do is PVC, anything like that. We test everything,
Right.
and everything under the house should be tested before it's ever turned over.
So are there different kinds of PVC cement for different applications?
Yeah, you've got hot and cold. You've got wet and dry. You've got heavy body, medium body. You've got all kinds of different types.
Okay.
And they're all, and even CPVC, PVC, ABS, there's all kinds of different glues, and they don't work with each other.
All right.
Mr. Mustache, I like that. How hard is plumbing? Harder than an electrician. That's why you got to be smart. And I'm sorry, I had to go there. You know, it's really the, think about this. Is it really hard to become an electrician? And I don't mean this bad, because to me, it's not hard to become a plumber. People tell me I can't do plumbing because there's too much math. You know what? It's something that it's not like, hey, you have to learn trig today and everything about it. It's like, you know what? Learn how to do this math problem. Learn how to calculate a fraction or convert a fraction to a decimal. It's not hard. And if you can learn a little bit at a time, it's like tying your shoes. You know, you don't have to get it right the first time, but if you practice, you'll get a little bit further each time. Sooner or later, it's like, man, I got all the way through it and did it by myself.
Yeah, and most
I
of
just
the-
did that last week. Just learned to tie my shoes. So it's like, it took a while, but I got there.
Yeah, all right. They're untied, bro.
Well, you know,
we're not even tied right now.
Hey, you
Still learning.
It is what it
Still
is.
learning.
Yeah, I didn't say I was perfect at it.
Yeah, so becoming an electrician also not very hard. The difficulty depends on where the area is that you work. So if you work in LA or something like that, and you're trying to get into the electrical union, a lot of times there's like a 2 to 3 year waiting period, just because there's a long list of people also trying to do that. So that's the difficulty of it. But the actual like math behind being an electrician is not all that different. It's not all that hard. And most of the time, if you're not great at math, the people around you that you're working with every day can show you, like, hey, this is how you take a big fraction and make it into a little fraction, and this is how you think about a 30-degree angle and a 60-degree. You know, it's all pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, I like this, and then I'm fixing to jump over the one on the screen. Gabe says, "How do I unclog a Chipotle toilet if I've clogged it?"
That's
the
the
sooner
one.
the answer, the better.
Yeah, that's
I
the one
didn't
from
see
earlier.
that part of it.
That's
the
why the
sooner
other
the
guy put
answer,
the
the
funny.
better. I like that. I do like that. Okay, so question for Mr. Wakefield: what about aquaponics? Do you have any tips and precautions for would-be gardeners? You know, and it's funny because I asked a guy about this the other day for hydro for growing marijuana, just because I'm wanting to do a video. My brother-in-law, my sister, own a medical grade marijuana facility in Oklahoma, and I'm like, I want to come up there and video the plumbing on it. How do you water the plants? And I've just never seen it, so that's what I thought about it. So I don't know anything about aquaponics. I want to learn, just to broaden my mind. You know anything about aquaponics or hydro or anything like that for a gardener?
I think they were talking about tomatoes.
Is that
and
what it is,
plants.
tomatoes?
You're over here talking about smoking weed. in
No, it
Oklahoma,
is
bro.
no. Well,
We just lost all of our sponsors. All right, it's been a great
Oklahoma
night.
breakdown. I mean, come on.
No, I've actually been interested too because there's lighting products and things that are in that same
You bet, and it is, and
all LED.
and the lighting is, I mean, most of the job. I mean, they're like, look, the lighting, the fans, the this and that.
You
It's
sound
just-
like you know so much about
no,
that.
but I'm wanting to learn. I mean, I'm just like, look, I've always been one of these people. Look, if I can find a way to make money, if I can find a new job, and no, that doesn't mean I'm doing anything like that. Just don't come to my house. I'm joking. Let me see. We got another question here. Billy Welsh says, "Do you know the best place to use your GI Bill to get plumbing training? Probably the union. The GI Bill will supplement what you make, and they will get you pretty close to a journeyman wage just because of what you've already done for the country and whatnot. Do you deal with anybody who's trying to get into electrical that have GI Bills and want to use that?"
No, because I mean, I don't know. Like, so in the union, I don't know why you would spend that money because they train you, they pay you to learn.
They do, but they start you out at $17 an hour.
Oh, so supplementing your
34,000 a year.
income.
They will
That's what you're
supplement.
saying.
They'll
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Look, we'll
That's-
pay you
damn,
an
that's a really
extra
good idea.
17 an hour, so you can make 70 grand a year starting out."
That's better than anything I
Man,
would
it's
said.
not a
That's
bad
really
gig.
good idea. Put it in a high interest, high yield savings account or an
There-
investment.
there you go.
That way it's growing.
Or a medical grade marijuana facility in Oklahoma. I mean, whatever you want to invest in is up to you. Just call me. I'll give you my digits. No, I'm playing. Okay, so Killer Cab says, "Thanks for the help with the switch legs." I guess that was for somebody else because I didn't hear you talk about switch legs.
Switch legs.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up here. Don't see
Roger
it.
got me. Hold on, go back down. Yes, you're with electrician U, and then he said Roger got me into you. I'm a 10-month electrical apprentice. Thanks for the help with the switch legs. There. we go.
Roger got you into you.
Thank you.
See?
See,
Man,
I
I'm
was
telling-
focusing on
I
the
do.
wrong part of the conversation,
I
bro.
tell people about electrician U because, look, everybody's not going to be a plumber. Everybody's not that smart. No, I'm joking. I really am. Killer Cab 11. I'm playing. Look, I do tell people when people comment, "Hey man, look, I want to be an electrician, but I like your channel." I'm like, "Have you seen Electrician U?" I mean, there's people out there talking about electrical work like I'm talking about plumbing. Guess what? He's from Texas too.
So there's one thing I did right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's the only thing. If y'all can't tell, we do have fun with each other.
This is what it's like on a job site, though.
and it is. It
different
really
tradesmen,
is.
honestly,
it really is.
When you're not like mad at each other because they're being inconsiderate of each other, but when you're actually considerate of each other, it's like this.
So have you ever got mad at a plumber on a job site?
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, what is it? Why do you guys take 50-gallon drums of like fittings and you go into a job and throw them all over the ground? Like you have a whole room of just white 2-inch 90s elbows. What is the deal?
I asked you a question. Did you say anything?
Why do you do that?
Sorry about that. You know, and me, I was always one of those people. My bosses didn't like me because I wanted that big Mac box that you can open. I mean, it looks like a plumbing supply house when you open the doors. It's like, oh my gosh, there's everything. And the
In
little
your
bins
truck?
and everything. No, on the job site, like on the floor.
Like a job
like
box
a
that you-
commercial. Yeah, you know the job box where you lock stuff up.
Yeah.
They make bigger ones that have actually like 6 wheels on each half. You open it up, and it's
Whoa.
nothing but shelves, and I mean full of fittings and bends and stuff like that. I always love being organized because then it's like, hey, you can tell an apprentice, hey, go to the second shelf, third bin from the left-hand side. There's half-inch 90s there, grab them. And man,
So is that a method though, at the shop where you get one job ready and you just take all the couplings, 90s connectors, throw it all in one big bin and bring it? To the
sometimes
job?
a lot of people it is, and normally it's not a big bin. Normally it's just a 5-gallon bucket. They walk. I tell you what, I had a plumber work for me one day, and I almost lost it. I go walking in the house. He's working on a bathtub, and he's got a bucket of fittings. I'm like, hey, do you have one of these? And he literally dumps it in her carpet. These fittings have been in the back of a truck, something like
Yeah.
that. So there's rust particles, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, man, think about everything you do. But yeah, some plumbers will just
Especially
dump
inside
anything
this
anywhere
house.
in their carpet.
Yeah.
And she's trying to remodel her bathroom. I think we ended up paying for the carpet on that house. Just, something to do. So I'm out of them over here. So if y'all have not, and it's going to refresh and I'll have more. Yep. If y'all have not, Augustine.
No, it just said Augustine headed to Electrician U to subscribe. Thank you. I'm
Absolutely.
trying to steal all of his subs.
Yeah,
So
guys.
all of
here's the
you,
deal. If you're in here now, just go. I'll tell you,
Just
he ain't even got to
leave.
steal them.
go to Electrician
What
U.
he talks about, don't just leave.
I'll give you I'll have Roger give you a free hat from a Roger Wakefield hat. Actually, he just said he was going to buy everybody an Electrician U shirt if you go subscribe.
I
You
don't
heard
know
that,
what's
right?
in his cup, but he drank it quick.
I know it's all gone.
I know.
You
I
left
know.
to get water, and then I don't have
You know
any
what?
water.
If you'll go out and get water, I'll lock the door while you're out. See, welcome to the job site. What is the best plumber company? You got any good plumbing companies down in Austin?
Don't seem like it. Are there any anywhere?
Richardson, Texas. Texas Green Plumbing, right here. You're in it. Oh, that's pretty
This
good.
is the best of the best.
I try to be. And I mean, I've heard you talk. When you go out and do a job, do you try to do it better than anybody else?
I just try to do it as good as I can.
I'll take that.
But I get what you're saying. I mean,
Here's my thing. And there's a book called The Dip by Seth Godin. He says, if you're not trying to be the best, why not? And I love that because, think about it. If you're hiring an apprentice and I separate 9 applications for you, I say these 3 are the worst, these 3 kind of in the middle, these 3 are the best. Which ones do you want?
you're obviously going to want the best, but depends on what the budget is. If you want. No, and I'm serious about that.
I get it.
Sometimes the best are so incredibly expensive that it makes no sense at all to hire them. Sometimes you can get people that are in the middle that you can train and you can kind of form them how you need to be and you can afford that. So I think that maybe I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for, really. Obviously,
And you're right. I'm one of these people. I always, when I got into the union, and that's probably where it started. Think about it. I got into the union after I'd been plumbing 17 years, and you're a rat. You're no good. You don't know what you're doing. You're open shop. So I just came in outperforming. And it's like, look, I put in pot plumber, truer, straighter, neater, quicker, boom, boom, boom. And
What was your reason for doing that quality work so that you could do better than them, or was it you were just? That's
it was
just
the way I was
quality-
taught.
Right.
I was taught, look, when you do it right.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to say, take your time and do it right. It doesn't take a lot of extra time to turn your letters the same direction, to turn
Right.
your bands on your no-hub bands, your nuts the same direction.
When you do it every day, it ingrains
you
in
bet.
you.
You just do it over and over and over again. All right. So I'm going to jump back over here. We got a question from Katie in the forum, and we got about 20 more minutes here. So I would say don't drop any more questions over in the forum. Katie's still in school, says I'm in trade school for welding. Wanted to know what is best way to get started to prepare myself for the trades. Okay, so she's going to school as a welder. She'll be on a job. Best advice. A new welder, straight out of trade school.
Well, we can go the female way because we've already answered this. I guess.
Okay, now wait.
kind of
Before you
gender.
go the female way, I want you to look. Her name is Haunting 66. So before you go there, I'm gonna let you know. Look, you're on.
So, I
Katie,
will
this is
address
his
this.
answer, not mine.
I will address this because you're female. You are going to have to deal with a lot of things that 96% of the people around you are not going to have to deal with. That's something you'll probably, if you haven't already learned by school, you're in trade school. you will probably learn that you are going to have to try to outwork every single person that you're around to get the same kind of respect. It's not fair. It shouldn't be that way, but we have been a male-dominated trade since its inception. There's 96% electricians out there, and I talk to lots of female electricians about this problem. So just note, there's a lot of people. The tides are starting to change. More people are being outspoken about the issues that females have to deal with. But things from being hit on all the time, things from having somebody want to carry your ladder for you because they think you're too, like they need to be chivalrous and do something for you or open doors for you. So it's going to be difficult for you to not just be treated like a worker like everybody else. You're going to be treated like a female first, and that's just something that you got to know. But the more that we have these conversations and the more awareness we bring to it, the more it changes.
And
was
no,
all right.
no, I do, and I like that. Most women that I know that are in the trades do excel above the men.
Yes.
The executive director for the plumbing division here in Texas, or for the plumbing license, female, Lisa Hill. Former chief plumbing inspector in the city of Dallas, Diane Villarreal. I know Mary Conger, who's over Conger Construction Services, an educator, an engineer. So I would say, look, as long as you understand you're going to be held to standards that most guys aren't, I agree with you 100%. It's not fair,
It's not.
but it is what it is. And I hate to say that, but we're being honest here.
Yeah, and most of the women that have come through that are masters that you talk to, they have a long history of. That's where I got this information from. There's a lot of stories and a lot of things. So there are tons of groups out there too. I like to always shout out to groups that I know about. So there's Facebook groups. There's hashtag Tradie Ladies is kind of like, there's a whole group of females that kind of lift each other up and get through a lot of this stuff. There's Reddit groups and things too, like Caller Ladies. But make sure you check those out.
Anybody, okay, and I don't know, I'm fixing to just kind of ease you on, make that easy. So, I know, blood clown, I get it. Hey, and I don't know if I've missed questions over here or over in the forum. I'm going through the forum, so if we hadn't got to your question, we're getting there. If you've got a question or if you've asked a question in the chat and I hadn't got it, put a Q in there. Put a Q, space or dash or whatever, and then ask your question. I'll jump through there and try to run through them. We will. It's good having Dustin here today. And I saw my brother Sean Strong, another good plumber. See him a lot over on, click on that. If y'all have not seen our subreddit, Sean Strong is in there. Good to have you in here, brother, as always.
Y'all on Discord?
I don't do Discord, man. It just I had one of my YouTube coaches did a lot of stuff on Discord, and I got to tell you, either my phone blew up every time I'd go in, there'd be like 1,000 new messages, and it's like, okay, man, this is crazy.
I have one of the guys Zach, the guy that has been commenting in here, he runs my Discord server, and we get like 1,500 people in there. But the reason I like it is it's like a forum, but it works like text messaging, and you can have pictures and video clips and stuff, and you can organize things by topic. So if you have a bunch of plumbers that like to talk about certain things, it kind of organizes different chats. But
and those of y'all who have not seen it, I've got a subreddit, Roger Wakefield posts, and we pull pictures and videos out of there for YouTube. People can go in there and post pictures of crazy plumbing, electrical, HVAC, all of it.
you do videos,
And then we'll pull it out and do videos on it.
I'm stealing that.
Man, it's amazing. Yeah, and I think, Sean, tell me how many people we've got in our subreddit, just because I know you're in there. But yeah, Sean pretty much runs it. He'll go in and post. He'll send me messages. Oh my gosh, you got to see this. So it's a pretty cool deal. I like that.
All right.
So got that link up there for y'all. And jumping back over here, so I do see a couple of cues. I'll jump on those real quick. This is how you started my plumbing apprenticeship on Wednesday in New York City. Any advice you think can help? Yeah, number one, Jonathan Cordell, it's going to be hard. New York City is very competitive. Great plumbers. I think that the unions are very strong up there. I think it'll be good for you. You can make great money in New York. And I like the fact that they have a 35-hour work week. 7 hours a day. Boom,
No way.
done. Yeah.
When did that happen?
A few years back. Katie says, have my OSHA certifications, or what other certifications would help you get ahead?
Is that Katie, the
I'm
welder?
assuming it's yeah, because it says welding. Katie, any certifications you can get are going to help you. In Texas, I've got the endorsements. MedGas, fire protection system, water supply protection specialist. So things like that are Anything you can do will help you get ahead. I'll jump a couple of more here, and then I'm going to go back over into the forum. Roger, since you're certified HVAC, you might relate. I really love the smell of fiberglass insulation, like when you open a bag of new Flex. Do you? No.
Stick your head.
I mean, I wish I could tell you, yeah. Trenciano, I got to tell you, it's like, no, not really. Jose says, question for both. What boss do you recommend for getting your license?
Books.
What books do you recommend for getting your license other than code books and subjects? Can you remember a best cover for exam prep? Depending on where you're at, number one, for the plumbing exam, know what code you're being installed or built by. I love the UPC, the Uniform Plumbing Code study guide. Go to the back, look up all your answers, mark the correct answer, and then just read through it like a book. Any study guide information you have for electricians?
Well, pretty much everything's governed by the National Electric Code, which is made by the NFPA, so the National Fire Protection Agency. So learning the code, that's not the only code that there is. There are some municipalities around the U.S. that don't use the National Electric Code. They're just a private company, but they're the biggest one, and they've had the most weight getting lobbied into a lot of governments. So that's the one that depends on where you're at. You just need to know what the codes are in your area. In Austin, too, we have the National Electric Code, but we also have the Austin Electrical Code, and it's very, very different. So it kind of changes across the country.
And you've got to know, no matter what city you work in, what code, what addendums, and all that. And that's your responsibility. It is not anybody else. That's your. Back in the day, I got a general contractor who says, Dustin, solar is a necessary thing for electricians in California. Is this true across the United States? Y'all do much solar down in Austin?
No, in Austin, there's a lot of solar companies, and what they are just business starters that have figured out a way to hire one electrician and a whole bunch of day laborers that they can pay barely anything. And they'll have somebody that reinforces the roof, and they'll have the laborers just go and wire everything and get everything ready, and then they'll have the one electrician go from job to job making sure that everything is done right. So as an electrician, even that paid electrician is usually not paid very well in comparison to a journeyman electrician or a master electrician.
All right, now, before I get into this next question, where all are you on social media? You got Electrician U on YouTube.
Yeah, so YouTube, Electrician U, Instagram, Electrician_U, TikTok, Electrician U, subreddit, Electrician U, LinkedIn, just Dustin Stelzer, Discord. we're all over the place.
It's crazy. That's good. I want to make sure everybody.
Clubhouse. I keep forgetting Clubhouse. You got me on this.
Yeah, telling you.
So what do you do with Clubhouse? Can we plug Clubhouse real quick?
Clubhouse. And the good thing is Clubhouse, they just opened up to everybody. So you don't even have to have an invite anymore. But literally, you can go into Clubhouse, and I want to go to mine because I started a room.
Oh, you got 1,000 followers? God, I got to catch up to you, man.
You can go to Clubhouse, and anybody can get in now. Connect with me, holler at me, whatever. But I've got a Clubhouse room called the Trade Talks. And watch this. I can look in here, and I think
I'm going to get on my phone, too. Did you hide my phone?
So Dustin Stelzer has now been invited. So he will be in the Trade Talks group.
When do you do talks?
Man, I'm fixing to start scheduling it because I want other people involved in it. So we're working on some neat things. Plumbing question. What's your best advice on dealing with leakage on the back of the toilet when it's to the point of leaving urine stains? If it's just urine stains, it's not leakage. It's somebody urinating on the back of the toilet. Aim down in the water. And I say that because if it's leakage, it would be from the tank. It would be water. So something to think about. Plumbers don't always aim.
I actually disagree with that. I think the best way to deal with that is to be an electrician.
See?
So you don't have to deal with it at all.
Oh my gosh. See, I knew something like that was going to come from somewhere. All right. Next question in here. Michael says, have zero experience with plumbing in the treehouse. In this treehouse. Thinking about signing up for a plumbing trade next year in March. 31. You said too old to get in the trade. Okay, 31 is not too old to get in the trade. 31 is a great age really to get started.
You're just a kid.
Yeah, and you're mature enough. Oh, God, at my age, you're a baby. Sorry, I'm getting old.
Benjamin Button, baby.
I know. But the thing is, at 31, and you should be through with games. You should be through with all the drama. It's like, look, man, I want to profession. That's why I want to be a plumber. If you just want a job, talk to Dustin.
No, I agree. I get this question asked all the time, and it's like I want to make a chat bot that just auto answers this question.
No, it's not too old. I don't
No.
care what age you put in.
Honestly, there's 50-year-old dudes that reach out and
I
they're
had,
like,
a
"Hey, is this
55, I had a
2-year-old?"
55-year-old apprentice one
I'm
day.
like, you got 15 years of a career before you're even in retirement age yet. You're not too young. When you're 31, dude, your brain just finished developing at 25. Literally, you're just now like a full human being. You're still a kid at 31. Get out of here with
That
all
is so
that.
cool. It is so cool. All right.
How much would
How much could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There you go.
Hey, wait. Real quick, we got to do this.
You gonna talk to these nuts?
No. What? Listen to this. Hey, Siri. Oh, wait, she's not going to talk to me now.
Can we get in trouble for
How do
having
we-
Siri on here?
I don't think so. How do you make Siri talk?
No, Siri doesn't talk. I got her. I can't even say
Okay,
what I
well,
was gonna
it's
say.
not doing it now.
I can't even say what I was gonna say.
Hey, Siri. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to operate an iPhone. What all of you should ask Siri that question: how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? She's got like 40 different answers,
Oh,
bro,
that's
and they
funny.
get funnier and funnier as you go.
Okay, so most of my experience is commercial plumbing, but I would like to learn and do more residential service. Which do you like better, commercial or residential, and why? I like residential, and my reason is I knew I wanted to open my own company. It's kind of hard to open a big commercial company. You've got to finance those jobs. You don't get paid for 60 or 90 days. And, you know, if you've got 20 guys working for you, you've got to cover that labor for 60 or 90 days. And it's just not anything I really ever wanted to do.
But I will say a lot of the commercial stuff, you know, at least what we do, if you do a lot of property management, you can get on contracts with people where they pay you monthly or they pay you, pretty constantly, and you're just doing work every once in a while. But I personally like the commercial service way more than residential service because of the physical work. I don't like being in people's houses anymore, like while they're living there.
And see, I'm either way. It doesn't. The people's houses don't bother me. I'm really good about coming in, talking to them, saying, "Hey, look, this is what we're going to do." Matter of fact, I mean, people's houses. To me, that's where people have the biggest need, and I love that. I like. Here we go. I'm an apprentice from Iceland. Work for a very large plumbing company focused on new construction. Is it important for me to explore service and other types? What do you recommend? I love the idea of getting into service. I'm just one of these people that I think it's nice to know how to fix things, and that's what I like about service. Do you like service or new construction better?
Depends on how long I've been in one. Seriously,
Bounce.
I get tired of new construction after a while,
Oh,
and
I
then want to
get
go
it.
into troubleshooting, and then I get tired of it and want to go back.
I get it. I love it. What's your opinion on shark bites? Now, I know my opinion. Are you familiar with shark bite fittings?
No, isn't that thing that you do like with somebody's arm?
No. Shark bites are the fittings you just push together and yeah, for water lines.
Okay, not like actual
Yeah,
sharks
yeah,
biting
no,
people.
no,
Like
no,
who? What does
no.
anybody have to think about that?
Yeah. Well, does anybody even think about that? That's pretty funny. All right, let me see how many more I've got here in the forum. I'm trying to get caught up in the forum, and I've only got 2 more. So please don't ask any more questions in the forum. I do always try to get through all these. Dustin says, I was taught by my grandfather how to work on plumbing under my sink, but it seems like there's a new type of technology being used. No doubt. You can't just screw down righty-tighty on the pipe. It'll tighten up. Is there a certain trick for the new pipe systems? Yeah, do me a favor. It could be a lot of different things. Here's what I want you to do. If you will go to that subreddit, and I put the link in here just a while ago. I think it'll pop up right there. If you'll jump over, Dustin, into that subreddit, put some pictures of it. Let me, Sean, let some of the other guys see what you got going on over there. We don't just make fun of people over there and put it on YouTube, although it's a great thing to do
No,
sometimes.
he does it on TikTok.
Yeah, we do that on TikTok. And we take some of your pictures off subreddit and put it on TikTok. But you can literally go put some questions over there, take pictures. We can see what it is. And look, Sean Strong will help you. I'll help you whatever we can do. Hardest job I've ever done. Keep my mouth shut when a customer didn't know what they were talking about. Sometimes that's really hard to do.
Yeah, getting talked down to by these rich people in these nice houses down in Austin.
Isn't it crazy? Amber, I will leave the studio up. I promise. Ricky Nell, number 89, says Roger is number 1. Because electricians are number 2.
We're in your house, all right.
You know what? And
you
look,
have
I am
that.
number 1, and I know we got about 5 more minutes. Number 1, I'm so glad you came up here. This is something we've been talking about doing for a while. Actually came down to Austin one time, and I think your building got shut down. They were changing out a panel. Don't remember what it was. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, when I first had my studio set up, yeah, I was like I was building little setups all over the place to do stuff. I remember that.
And even the one you had up in Cedar Park, and I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. But man, you could walk in his place. Number one, you sat down in front of him. He's got these 2 freaking huge monitors, and I think there were 2 of them. And he's in there working, and I'm just like, dude, you do all this yourself? He's like, yeah, don't you? I'm like, no. It's like, I got a whole marketing team in there, man. We do, they do my editing. They help me with content. They come in here and shoot. We've got 3 cameras set up right now. I do the mounting, so I've got to move this one. We're going to move this one over. So literally, we've got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. We did have a slide over here that literally all through this video it would just go back and forth, which was neat. But what we're doing, we're moving out to 30 degrees here, 30 degrees here, and then we're going to put a slide right above these monitors. It goes back and forth. We just upgraded to the new ATM Mini Extreme ISO, so that's what I controlled the different cameras with, like 3, 2, and 1.
You're giving
1,
people seizures
2,
in the audience
3.
right now. You need to stop with the buttons.
I know. The subscriber count just went to 0. But the neat thing about it is that we're always looking for different things to do, and this has just made it a lot of fun. So, just having a blast.
Yeah, so
But
I
I don't do it
stopped
all
a year
myself.
ago. I stopped doing everything by myself, and I have people that help me out now. So
I love that.
that's why it's actually of somewhat quality nowadays.
Okay, so exploded part image for the stuck part I can't remove. Okay, I don't see it here. And I doubt you can put that in, so I won't be able to pull
they
that
can't
up.
put images in, can
Right?
they?
No.
Oh, that would be such a useful feature.
Until they put up images that can get you shut down, then you'll
Well,
be
but you
like,
get to see
man,
'em
why did
first."
they put my images up there?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
List of plumbing tools for a home DIY. Look, plumbing tools are easy. You need a plunger. You need to be able to shut the water off. You need adjustable pliers, adjustable wrenches, stuff like that. What tools should every person have at home? What electrical tools should everybody have at home? I'm
None.
thinking like number one, you need to know if there's power. Is it hot?
Man, so as an electrician, this is a very difficult question to answer because the correct answer is you shouldn't be doing any electrical work. You should have an electrician doing your electrical work. It's probably the same way with plumbing, but I think it's a little bit more. The danger side of it is it's always recommended from an electrician to tell people to not be doing their own electrical work.
So let me ask you this, because and this is a great question. I'm glad we got around to this. In Texas, the plumbing license law says you as a homeowner, as long as it is your registered, it's your homestead. It's yours. It's not like I own 50 homes so I can work on all of them. If it's your homestead, it's documented. This is the house you live in. In Texas, you're legally allowed to do anything plumbing you want to do,
It's the same with electrical.
even your gas line.
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, you have to still
you
go
can
through an
replace
inspection process.
Yes, you
Yeah.
still have. So electrical, same way. Okay, so I could install a new panel at my house if I wanted to.
You can, and then I'm gonna just take all
And
that
how
money.
smart
when
would
you
that
call
be?
me.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
I get so many calls from homeowners like, my husband just messed up all the wiring, and we're trying to sell. Can you come and fix it all?
I love that you
Yes.
worded it that way. There used to be a plumbing company here in Garland, and their sign out front, and it never changed. It was one of those that had the letters in it, never changed. We repair what your husband fixed.
Yeah, I get so much work.
Yes.
I love it. But yeah, don't be doing
All
electrical
right.
work.
Toilet cleaning tablets, I don't like them. Walter says, okay, I'll leave. Sorry, my bad. Walter, don't know what you did, but man, I hope you're good. Hope everything's okay. I don't know who you made mad, but it happens. Mr. Steve Harlow's in the house. Good to see you here, brother.
Who's that?
He is a plumber from Hawaii. He wants me over there. Sean thinks he wants him. He really wants me. Now, I tell you what, Sean Strong's a great guy. I'd like to get him. These nuts is in here again. I don't know how this stuff keeps coming up.
It's because you got an electrician in here.
Look here.
We have a little bit
Even
rowdier.
Siri
of a
doesn't
crowd.
want to talk to him, Sparky.
That's pretty
See?
good. That's pretty good.
That was good. Jackie says, hey, Roger, what do you think about toilet cleaning tablets? I don't like them. I'll tell you what, I've got a toilet at home made by American Standard, the Aqua Clean, and literally you push a button on top, it puts the cleaning fluid down in the water, flushes it, puts a coating on it, sets 10 minutes and goes away. pretty neat stuff. I
Why do you
like it.
not like the little tablets?
They sit down there. They don't get up high around the bowl and stuff like that. Now, if you put the tablet in the tank and flushed it where it get in the ring, it could possibly work.
So there's a cleaning solution that you can flush your toilet and it cleans it every time?
I'm just saying.
I wanna be a plumber now.
And I mean, think about this. You know, have you ever splattered the back of a toilet so bad you wished it cleaned itself?
No, I've got perfect aim.
See, expects me to believe that.
No
From Matt
problems you
McDonough's?
have, bro.
I know. It was book of references. Yeah, I tell you what, I love my UPC study guide. I know we talked about that one ago. So, I think we're getting about down to the end. Dustin, tell me one more time. You're, number one, YouTube, you're blowing up. I love what you've done over there. I love the way you do it. Education, knowledge, humor, you tie it all together very well. I know you're sponsored by Klein Tools. Who all else sponsors you on social media?
Right now, who I'm partnered with is Connecticut Electric, Klein Tools.
Do they know you're in Austin? Connecticut.
They're not even in Connecticut. Funny.
I know.
Funny enough, they're
I-
not.
Yeah, stuff like that's funny.
Who else?
I messed him up.
No, Ariat Boots.
Ariat.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Got my Ariats.
I like that. See, I got my my white boots. Man,
Alright.
these things are heavy, dude. I love these. My only problem with them is, and it's not a problem. I got to take them off every time I go through the airport.
Oh yeah. these two.
I mean, no matter what.
Wait, are they steel?
They're not steel toe. They got steel shank in them. In case I want to shiv you.
All right. Who am I forgetting? I feel terrible. I'm sorry. Sponsors, don't drop me. Milwaukee Tools.
Love that. I need your contact in
there's a few
Milwaukee. I'm wanting to do a series on sewer water test and hydrostatic test, which we call them sewer water test. But slab leaks and leak detection are huge up here in North Texas. And Milwaukee has an amazing sewer camera. Love
Oh,
it.
dude, I'll hook you up. They're always looking for
Love
really.
Milwaukee, really do. I like this. So it says passing by Charlotte Pipe, watching Roger. Worked for Queen City Plumbing. Good deal. I tell you what, I had so much fun going to Charlotte. Do you ever? And I know you used to do this with. I think it was Milwaukee, where you'd go to the location and try out new tools and play with tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they have an NPS 9, or they call it their new product symposium every year that they have.
That's so cool. I literally got to go to Charlotte, who makes PVC pipe,
Okay.
and get to see how they make it. And I tell you what, I wish I had my bag in here. That they had 2 bags, one of the little pellet chips and another one full of white resin. If you walk through the airport with a bag of a white powdery substance, it's
Yeah.
like a 1 gallon bag, and it's like about this full. When you go through the X-ray machine, they will say, "Hey, we need to look in your bag, please."
Everything of yours, yeah.
I know, and I'm like, well, "Why's that?"
You just gotta like smash
I
some
know.
on your face.
Yeah, just rub a little on my mustache under my nose. Just like,
Oh.
what are you talking about?
I go through airports so much, man. I'm so tired of traveling. But at this point, I feel like we need to start screwing with them back. We're in the airport.
You don't think that bag of
let's
white
just-
powder is a good
Oh,
job?
more. These TSA people are so bored. You know,
I know.
like you got to play with them, wake them up a little bit.
I wish I had my mask in here. I had some. Here, I got one.
You got like a luchador mask, like a wrestling mask from Mexico. Oh, one of those masks.
When I go through the airport, I put on my mask like this, and I'll tell you what, people look up at me and they're like, I can't even look at your face. It's like, why not? And just sit here and
Will
make
you
it
put that
very-
on upside down for me, just so I can see what it
No,
looks
no,
like? Come on,
I
man.
ain't even going there with you. See, you're just not even right. So, I think we've proven today that.
Question: why do they have a steel shank in them? Come on, yeah.
Told you in case I wanted to shiv him.
Just wow.
I know, just sharpen the end. You know, we actually have proven today that plumbing is a better career than electrical. I'm
Logic.
glad Dustin came up so he could finally put this to rest. No, this has been fun. We've wanted to do this for a while. I think we can find a way to do like a series, you know, where we do this more than once. You know, what do y'all think? Number one, if you're here and you have not gone over to an electrician, I understand why, but go ahead and do it anyway. He really is. No, he's a good guy. I've had fun with this. I have had fun. Plumbing, king of trades. See?
I think it would be
Solved.
really cool if we were able to figure out somehow to go out in the field with each other. So like maybe a job where I'm doing electrical work, you come along, ask any questions you have about electrical and how it pertains to plumbers. I've been wanting to do something like that for electricians too, to be able to just like have you explain, this is why we do things, this is how this kind of works. So electricians just know a little bit better about how it works.
Can you install AC first? Because it's been so long since I've been out in the field. It's like I walked in and smiled. I'm like, guys, it's gonna be over 100 today. Do we just want to go home, call it a day?
That's why I'm moving to Colorado. I'm out this heat,
Oh,
man.
dude, I would not. Well, why are you moving to Colorado?
Because I'm not.
Tired of the heat?
Well,
I'll
the
see.
mountains,
I love it.
like I grew up like dirt biking and snowboarding and all that kind of stuff. So like that's me up there. This is just too hot, and I've been here for like 25 years.
Aren't you used to it yet?
No,
See,
every
I am.
summer I'm
It's-
not
it's
used
like,
to it
you know
yet.
what? I can handle it. I can handle it. Here's a good question, and I don't know. It's time for us to get. He's got to drive all the way back to Austin, but I do like this question: how much should a new plumber spend on tools? And I'm going to take out the word plumber and put electrician because I teach people about getting in the trades. I think in the beginning they should put up about 10% for tools. Meaning, look, if you get carry home
10% of what?
of your income. Meaning,
Okay.
if you get a $400 check, go spend $40 on tools. Invest in yourself. And if you learn that at that age, at the beginning, hey, in the beginning, look, I have nothing. And I also tell people, look, I would rather go to a pawn shop and buy a brand name tool that's been used a little bit than go buy a brand new tool that I've never heard of the name.
Yeah.
And
Some
when it
cheap
falls
crap.
apart, it's trash.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? How much do you think, if I came to work for you today and said Dustin, look, man, I'm new in the trades. Thank you for offering me a job. I want to start investing in myself and buying tools. How much would you recommend somebody put in? I like the 10%. It's an easy number. And then later, once you've got your tools, now you can roll that money over to invest in training, knowledge, or something else. But you're already used to it.
Man, it's really hard because electricians have a lot of tools. Like, my van is full of tools. It's not full of material. It's full of both, but usually I think around $300 worth of tools when you first start out is about what you're going to have to put as an investment. That's a drill and all of the hand tools, screwdrivers, there's a lot of stuff to get, plus a tool bag, which you guys don't really wear belts, right?
Yeah, we're
wear
manly.
tool
We
belts.
don't wear.
But having a rig that's something
No,
you
I
can
like
carry
that.
for
No, I
construction,
do.
But also then there's the carry side if you're doing service. So I would say $300 that's mixed with mostly new stuff and maybe some like new stuff like you're talking about. But
And-
also putting like I think $20 a week every week on an apprentice wage, at least $20 a week into a jar to save up for later.
And the good thing is later, once you've invested that $300-400, whatever it is in tools, now you say, okay, now I'm going to invest this in education. One thing I teach people is continue learning. Just because you get that journeyman license doesn't mean, and you can say, look, I'm a plumber. It's what I got in it to become. I'm an electrician. I passed the test. I've got the license. Most people stop learning at that point. Don't stop. There's so many opportunities out there. We were talking about this earlier. The more you learn, you can become a foreman, a superintendent, a project manager. You can eventually own your own company one day. But keep learning. The more you can invest in yourself, the better this entire thing is going to be.
Yeah, the journeyman license is the starting line.
It
were
is.
just
It's like
walking
the very
up
beginning,
to the
yes.
starting line, the whole apprenticeship.
You just got on the ladder.
Yeah.
Now it's time to start climbing up.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, Dustin, man, look, I do appreciate you being here today. Again, anybody who has not gone over to Electrician U yet, go over there, subscribe, ring the bell, and watch what he does. You can take out the word electrician and put plumber and a whole lot of it, and you're going to learn a lot of good
Yes, and anybody that is here from my audience that is not subscribed to Roger,
things. He understands why.
hit the sub button. Do you have a channel membership?
I do. Actually, I do.
Hit the join,
I
join,
do.
join,
I do.
join.
I do. Yes, I do.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I had a lot of fun. This was way more fun than I thought it was going to be boring, really.
Did you really?
Yeah, you're
Wait.
boring. I've
Man.
watched your videos.
Yeah, see what it's got. See, really? Now I do need to do
No,
it.
I had a lot of fun, man. We need to keep this momentum and do some more stuff.
Yes, and we definitely will. Guys, number one, thank you for being here. Like I said, if you hadn't subscribed, if you hadn't followed him, check him out on all the social platforms. Sean Strong, thank you for being here today. Neil, the Urban Explorer, good to have you in here. I think I've got amazing people in here as moderators that help me out a lot.
Your team's
Amber
really
Grayson,
good.
I know, man. I do.
Your
I love
whole
my
team.
team. Love my team. Got to hang out with them today. Grayson was excited when you walked in. He's like, "Hey man, good to see you." And it's like, "This is Grayson." He's like, "Oh." Yeah, it's neat when you talk to these guys and they never see
It's
you.
not just
So
a username in a chat somewhere.
man, it happens really fast, doesn't it? Just to see if there's anything in here I really need to do real quick. I think we're all good there. I'm going to pull that. I am going to come right here and pull that. And we're going to go right here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.